Let's face it, we're stuck inside with no place to go. So Danny the puppet is forcing his family to watch movies. And then he talks about them the next day. Hi, it is I, Danny the puppet. And the movie for today that we watched last night was Matinee. That's right, the movie Matinee. I'm specifically emphasizing the name of this movie because my oldest daughter thought it was Manatee. And she honestly sat there the entire movie expecting a giant manatee to show up. She did not tell us that till the end of the movie. Matinee is an interesting movie. It takes place in 1962, and it's set against the backdrop of the Cuban Missile Crisis. And so during this time, we see a lot of people panicking about nuclear war. There's even a scene where they raid the grocery store, taking the last roll of toilet paper. I'm not kidding. But what's the movie about? Uh, all this is happening against the backdrop of the Cuban Missile Crisis, but the movie itself is about a B horror movie being released by Lawrence Woolley, played by John Goodman. And it's a cheesy B movie called Mant, about a man who turns into an ant. And the setup for the movie he has set up is lots of special effects in the theater itself, buzzers in the seats, and lights and smoke, and all of that. It's definitely a love letter to those B horror movies and the shock cinema. You can tell that. John Goodman's character really embraces this type of theater. He really believes in what he's doing. And he actually believes it's good to see scary movies and how they help prepare you for the shock of real life. That's a theme that comes up throughout the movie. The movie itself is a backdrop to what's going on, how people are reacting to the Cuban Missile Crisis. One of the characters, the theater owner or manager, I can't quite tell, played by Robert Picardo. He's the hologram from Star Trek Voyager. That's what I always remember him for. He has a shelter in the basement, and lots of shenanigans occur with the shelter, and shenanigans occur with a guy dressed in an ant costume, and people are reacting as if the world is actually ending as they're watching this movie. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, a love letter to those B horror movies. It was a fun movie, and actually during this time I found it rather calming. Seeing a moment in history where people are panicking about possible nuclear war. Well, right now we got a lot we're panicking about. Will we come out of this? I think it's all going to turn out okay in the end. And that movie kind of reminded me that. So, if you're looking for a movie to watch, and maybe you haven't seen it before, I don't think a lot of people have seen this one, look for Matinee. It does not feature any giant manatees. It does, however, feature John Goodman and a giant ant monster, torn out of a 50s and 60s sci-fi B thriller. Bye for now.